And get these links posted. It's going to be weird picking so immediately. Nearly back to back too. Very interested to see what's going to happen here. I feel like I've generally settled in more since yesterday and the decision to trade down and not take Travis Hunter. Like, I still stand by all of my initial thoughts on, like, it doesn't always make sense to just be projecting for the future and hoping that some things are going to go the way you want next season so that you can get the quarterback you want at that time. It gets a little murky when you start doing that kind of future projecting. So I do still feel that. But I do think, they still got a great player in Mason Graham. I think, they got a pretty decent return there, a pretty decent haul with getting the first round pick next year, getting pick 36 here coming up in this round. Those are some really good assets. So I've settled into it more, but I'm still sad because, like I said, once you start to picture a player on your team, it's hard to kind of like let go of that. Like I got all hyped up over it for a couple of weeks there, and then only for it to not happen. But it is what it is. One thing I'm interested to see here that I've heard a lot of people talking about is they use one of these picks on a tight end. Obviously beyond Njoku, that room is lacking right now. So I do think that could be a potential way they go with one of these two picks. Could maybe also go offensive line. I mean, we've got so many holes in so many different areas that it can go in a number of directions. And I'll be like, yeah, that was a position of need. How many minutes do the teams have on day 2 to pick? Let's see. 7 minutes? Is that right? No, to make their pick and then the second round. Yeah, I think 7 minutes, it seems like. That's what it is. It felt long yesterday. Like, I know why they draw it out, but gosh, when a team really uses that full time, it's just like, okay, can you please just make your pick now? We get it. I'd like to see the Magic beat the Celtics in a game. That would be fun. Mm. It's always so weird having a camera in these people's houses. Travion Henderson, love him. Do they take a running back? Who knows? Maybe. I feel like they'd take like a third round running back. I'm not sure if they would use one of these two Second round picks. That is a lot of deer heads there behind Quinn Ewers. That's kind of freaking me out a little bit. There's something so soothing about like the routine of the NFL season where I'm like, all right, it's April, Mel Kiper sitting at the desk. All is right in the world. Earth keeps spinning. Like it's nice to have the routine of it all sometimes. And no one spoil in the chat for me if you see the picks being made on Twitter or wherever before they're actually made on the broadcast. Do not tell me. I want to experience it in the moment. So I didn't end up having any time to listen to any radio to see how the fan base was feeling. I feel like at least online, the response is pretty mixed. Some people are like, "This is ridiculous. You should have just made the pick." Some some people, have a understanding of the haul they got and the reasoning behind it. So I think it was a pretty mixed response in general. Yeah, that's going to be real fascinating today to see what's going to happen with Shador. I'm not surprised that he didn't get taken in the first. I mean, I was saying it yesterday. I really didn't feel like that was going to happen. I'm interested maybe in, let's see, after that Browns pick at 36, pick 37, some people think that the Raiders could end up taking Shador there. I mean, we could always see a team trade up and try to take him. So that's definitely a possibility. The Saints are on the board at pick 40. That's a quarterback needy team. Jets at 42. Wouldn't that be something? Just there's not a lot that I feel like would take him. It's so crazy too to see how we go from a couple months ago when Dion's like, we're going to decide what cities he wants to go to and play for. And now it's like, sorry, guys, you're not really going to get a say in this. Gotta hope someone picks you and be grateful for it. Brownies are on the clock. Now, real interesting factor that I've thought about all off season when looking at the quarterbacks is the Jalen Milroe, Tommy Reese connection, offensive coordinator, obviously, of the Browns now. So I don't know. It's just something I've always wondered on if they had an increased interest in Jalen Milroe because of Tommy Reese specifically. Wouldn't that be crazy if Milroe also goes before Shador? Oh my God. People's brains would break. People would be very unwell for that. I really don't know if they're going to use either of these to take a quarterback. I don't think so. I just don't think so. I feel like they really need to address something on the offensive side of the ball, whether it's the line or tight end, like I mentioned, or running back or receiver. Anything. It's got to be offense, though. I really think you need to probably use both of these picks on that side of the ball. Yeah, I'd agree that I think in Deion saying that, I think, his intentions are good to like hype up his son and he has such a belief in him and I understand that, but I don't think that set him up well in any way. And I do think it probably turned some teams off to him. Like you don't want to feel like the player has that much more power than the team when it's the draft, and you want a guy that wants to come play on your team. You don't want a guy that's like, I don't want to be there. Of course those things can change, but you definitely don't want that to be their primary thought of like, yeah, I don't want to play for that team. Stay in the game is what all the Browns front office coaching staff is wearing. They're all really giggly right now. Very smiley and giggly. What are we giggling about, Andrew? Kevin, would you like to share with the class? The pick is in. Where are you, Roger? All right, like I said, no one tell me. If you see it first, don't put it in the chat. Let me say it first so I can see it and be surprised. Where are you, Roger? I'm getting nervous. I don't know what's going to happen. My final guess is offensive lineman, but we'll see. Joe Thomas, the man himself. Just listen to him on New Heights this week. Bring him back. Is that what they're chanting? We could use you, Joe. Linebacker. Wow. I'm a little surprised on. I mean, linebacker is a position of need for sure, but I'm surprised. Wonder what this says about JOK's status and his health. I would have preferred to go something offense, like I said. I don't know if I love. Defense at both of the first two picks. Yeah, I don't feel good about that in terms of where JOK is at then. I mean, I was feeling better the other day because they were posting like videos of him walking into the building. Seemed like spirits were generally high, but I don't know. Jimmy Haslam sighting. Sorry, I'm not more enthusiastic. It's just like I don't understand the thought process. I just don't get it. Our offense was the worst offense in the league last year. And I know that there were a lot of reasons for that, one being Deshaun Watson's terrible play, but it wasn't just that. We had no weapons. Our offensive line was either injured or struggling throughout most of the season. Run game was putrid. And you use your basically 2 first-round picks in this draft at 5 and then at 33 to address the defense. I don't know. That just doesn't make sense to me. All right. Well, now at 36, you better address something on the offense, whether it's the line or a weapon. There goes a receiver. Nice little weapon for one CJ Stroud. It's strange to me too, after Andrew Berry yesterday was saying like, "Oh, we feel like you know, this spot, this early second round is the sweet spot in this draft where, they really like a lot of the talent." For that to be the pick is weird to me too, for him to be saying that and for that to be the pick. I just find that strange. Here's the thing though, the way Andrew Berry is drafted, I'm like consistently surprised by the picks that they make. Other than the year that they took Newsom and JOK, which I like fully, I think a lot of people thought those picks would happen and it all kind of made sense for the team at that time. I've been pretty surprised. And I think it's because Andrew Berry has always talked about this, where he does not look at the draft as something I didn't realize Seattle is on the board now, traded in. Okay. To address an immediate, they don't use the draft to address an immediate need. They use the draft for future projecting in terms of like, okay, so, we want to develop this talent so that in 2-3 years, they are an important piece of this franchise, where they look towards free agency or trades to fill the more, okay, this season we need this hole to be filled. So I think that's why I always end up being super confused by his picks, because he's not thinking about always what they need right now. But I feel like you got to balance those two things, right? You can't just always think about what you're going to need 2-3 years down the line. You do got to at some point be like, okay, we have so many holes right now. Is there a way we can use the draft to address some of them? That looks like the Browns world on the internet is not happy with that pick either. Everyone's like, okay, so offense. Glad we're all on the same page. Interesting times. Do the Cavs go up 3-0? Yes. I think they'll win tomorrow. I think they were just playing around in the fourth quarter of the last game, trying to make things hard for themselves. Although Darius has like a toe sprain or something. I don't know what that's about, but hopefully he's okay. Because he's been such an important part of what they've been doing. And we need him to be able to get in Tyler Hero's face. So what are the Browns? I mean, I literally can't even give you a guess of what the Browns are going to do at this point. I'm just so generally confused and thrown off that I don't even know. Who are the Seahawks taking? Weird camera angle situation they were just doing there. Mm. Would I be happy with Henderson here? I mean, I obviously as a Buckeye love Henderson. It's interesting. All out of all of the NFL offseason coverage and draft coverage I've listened to, and I've listened to a whole bunch of different podcasts of people doing mock drafts, and um, some people like Henderson more, some people like Judkins more from an Ohio State perspective, and I've seen a lot of kind of flip flopping with those guys. So yeah, I don't know who the Browns have more interest in. I mean, I think more people have Henderson higher than Judkins, but it's interesting how those two are kind of, not only just in the same conversation because Ohio State teammates, but kind of in the same realm in the draft. But I would be happy going running back here. I'd be surprised that is the Browns pick is in. They made that pick real quick. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. If they go defense again, I'm actually going to lose my mind. I will be very unwell. I will be very unwell. Am I going to post a draft recap? Yeah, I'll either do like a podcast episode, some type of video. There'll be some draft content. All right. Uh, Judkins. Judkins. Okay, go Bucks. Go Bucks. Go Bucks. Wow, I mean, I literally was just saying that I thought, I wasn't sure who they had more interest in, but more people I felt like had Henderson higher, but I guess the Browns had Judkins higher. Okay. They went offense, so I'm not going to lose my mind, so that's good. Like all of my Ohio State friends are going to be texting me, giving me thoughts. Wow, I'm excited about that. I love the way that dude runs. Love the way that dude runs. I mean, to be honest, this season, like I liked him more than Henderson within the Ohio State offense. So we got a Michigan and Ohio State guy once again. We just did that with the Mike Hall and Zach Zinter early Michigan and Ohio State picks. They're just trying to get rivalries within this locker room, apparently. So, wow. Judkins. Okay. I'm so back, guys. I'm so back in. Forget everything I've said. Go Bucks. They did something to make me happy. Oh, the Dolphins. Huh. Every time something happens now, I'm like, is it for Shador? Is someone getting Shador? Buckeyes in Cleveland. I think I was saying this for those of you that were on the stream yesterday, but I've consistently felt like their decision to draft a running back in this draft would have nothing to do with whether or not they decide to bring Nick Chubb back. I still think that they could bring Nick Chubb back. Nick Chubb has been through a lot. He is not going to be at the level of production that he was previously at. It's just not going to be possible. So I think, if they do bring him back, it'll be in a much more limited capacity. And I don't think this pick being made changes that. What is Miami trading up for? I feel like Brian Windhorst with the pointing. It's like, what are the Jazz doing? Okay, not Shador. Wow, that really shocked me, guys, with the I did not see them, I wanted an offensive weapon there. I didn't think they'd go Judkins, but I'm, like, really pleasantly surprised. Maybe they did that just, because they knew everyone was gonna be mad about the defensive picks, so they're like, "Okay, a lot of Buckeye fans in Cleveland. Let's give them one thing that they can be excited about." And there it is. I wanna stay on a little longer just so I can see if anyone takes Shador, because 'cause I'm probably not going to stay on for all of this, tonight in general with the 3rd round. But I wanna see what happens with Shador. Cute. Wow, it feels really good to be getting this, in general, just drafting in this range of the draft and getting, like, actual high caliber NFL talent again. Because, like, even just one guy that you get in this range, if he somewhat works out, you have him on a rookie deal for a couple of years, like, that makes such a difference in how you create a football roster that we have just not been able to do for the last couple of years, and it's made things really hard, and it's really caught up with us as each year has gone by, and we have had either only picks starting in the 2nd round or sometimes in the 3rd round. That makes has made it really, really brutal. Yes, I only have a football and a basketball light fixture that I switch out. This is my basketball one. The behind the scenes. It's not very, aesthetic and high tech here, but it's something. So we're just going with it for now. Milrow at 67. I mean, if these quarterbacks don't start going, he could last till then. I don't know. That's what's so crazy is, like, at one point people were talking about how guys were going to be teams were going to be trading up into the 1st to get Milrow and to get Shador, and all these guys were going to go then, and now it's like they could fall into the 3rd. You just never know how it's actually going to go. Oh man, I'm so excited about Judkins. Dude is a beast. Yeah, I feel like he's just such like a he's just like a tough physical back, you know? Runs hard. Yeah, I think these teams are telling you right now how they feel about this QB class. They're making that very clear. Mm. I guess Rappaport said that the Browns and Nick Chubb have had recent dialogue and the door is open. So kind of tracks with what I was thinking that this doesn't change anything for that. Let's see. Okay. Patriots are not taking Shador. So can cross that one off the list. Chicago next up, not taking Shador. Now, New Orleans, pick 40. That could be a spot for a QB draft pick. Travion Henderson, the other back, the other Buckeye back. Yep. Ah, bummer, because I don't like Patriot fans, so tough for him. Sorry. I'm a Judkins girl now. Still happy for him though. Happy for Travion. Aw, his mom. So cute. It's an emotional day, man. That's got to be such a euphoric feeling of like everything you've worked for your whole life or watched your kid work for their whole life and see it come true. About to make life-changing money, work the job that they've always wanted to. So cool. Got to be the best feeling. Oh, I love getting to see all these Buckeye highlights on my screen. I want to see what people are feeling about, like in the national media, about the Judkins over Henderson for the Browns. Very curious. Looks like Bill Simmons is very excited about the Travion Henderson Patriots pick. Bill Simmons, obviously known Boston fan. I would agree. I feel like Judkins is harder to tackle than Henderson. I mean, they were just both used, I feel like, in such different situations at Ohio State. But it was very fun to watch in terms of like they were very complimentary of each other, which is why that team won a national championship. That amongst many other reasons, but that being one of them. Oh, so Chicago's got 39 and 41 here. I wonder if they trade out of 41 or they make both. Who knows? Ah, Ohio State selections, 6 of them already. That's a crazy. We're not even at pick 40 and there's already been 6 Buckeyes taken. Crazy. Do we think New Orleans takes what if New Orleans took Milrow instead? Oh man. I just want to see everyone start to lose it. I need to pull up the draft order here again so I can be looking. That's right. So Saints are at 40 and then Jets are at 42. Another receiver. I mean, look, I know the Jets have Fields, but I don't think that means they're like not going to take a quarterback. So I still think the Jets are a potential team. When okay, it's not going to happen, but I was just like, oh, Dallas at 44. If Dallas took Shador just for the plot, like they're not going to. It makes no sense for them. They don't need to take him, but for the plot, it would be funny. Hmm. I don't even know which quarterbacks the Saints have shown interest in. Like I haven't seen that reporting. Hmm. Why are they not showing? Okay, there we go. Saints on the clock. We're moving it along. Gosh, I mean, what do they even do with their two? So they have 2 third-round picks. If they don't go quarterback, they definitely should take a receiver with one of them. And then the other, maybe offensive line. I guess it depends on, who is available at that point and who they like, but come on, Saints, make your pick. Let's see if it's quarterback. Who are y'all interested in? They're all high-fiving, looking very happy. What is it? Whoever is running the ESPN graphics is like the clock has just stopped on New Orleans for 1 minute and 28 seconds. I think it should say the pick is in, but the clock's just chilling there. And they've been like delayed in switching to the next team on the graphic. Like they're struggling a little bit. Okay, pick is in. There we go. I feel like that reaction in the draft room makes me think they're taking a quarterback. Oh my God. They took the Louisville quarterback. Wow. Things are getting awkward. Wow. That's crazy. I mean, look, there has been talk that like this guy could go earlier than people think, but whew, that's pretty crazy. I was like, oh, is it going to be Shador Milroe? And it's not. Good for him. Tall guy. He's almost 6'5". Man, these teams are not in on Shador. Wonder what Shador is thinking right now. Like, how do you react to this? It's probably a very humbling experience. And, maybe that's good for him at the end of the day. Bill's now on the clock. Bills traded up. So the Bears did get rid of that second pick. I was wondering if they would, because that is close to have 2 picks there. But the Bills see something they like. And it's probably not Shador, so. Oh, the dog. The dog's got a little Saints collar thing on, bandana. Wow. Wow. We've got Kyle McCord and Will Howard moving up there on the Mel Kiper's best of board, of the upcoming players at that position that are still available. We'll be very interested to see where the two of them end up. Did they say the Browns had interest in Dart? Is that what they just said there? Huh. Wow. Yeah, Tyler Show, or however you say it, I don't know how to say his last name, will be 26 early on in the season. In September, he turns 26. That's pretty crazy to take that old of a quarterback that early on in the draft. Oh, I want the Jets to take Shador now. I think that would be fun. New York, have the Sanders family be a part of the New York media scene there. And this is just solely for my entertainment. I want that to happen. Not necessarily because I think they should. I mean, look, as the time goes on here, it does get more and more possible that Milrow could still be around at 67 when the Browns pick. All right, Bills. What are we doing? Not the same Sanders. Look, if the 49ers want to take Shador and move on from Brock Purdy, I would take Brock Purdy in Cleveland. I mean, we can't be picky over here. So I would take Brock in Cleveland. Let's see who comes after Jets San Fran. Good. Jets San Fran. Cowboys, Colts, neither of those. Rams, probably not. Cardinals, no. Maybe Raiders. Probably not. Jets pick is in. It's still funny, all that Aaron Rodgers drama that is really still happening with him and the Jets. It's like it was the most predictable thing that could have ever happened when he went there. I don't think anyone was like, wow, this is so shocking. They have a contentious relationship? What? No way. Jerry reunited with the Sanders family. I know that's why I was joking that like I know Dallas isn't going to take him, but it would be funny for the plot if the Cowboys did, just for the Dion of it all. I like the clip that they show when they post the clips of throughout the combine and the interview process when the Browns are talking to the players before they have been drafted by the Browns. So they posted a clip with Mason Graham and kind of talking about some different things that he likes to do within his tape. And they were like, yeah, it would be pretty crazy if you were, paired up right next to like Myles Garrett doing that. And now that's going to be his reality. Always kind of just cool to see that stuff before it actually becomes a reality. I did not watch Enigma on Netflix. I, to be honest, do not have interest in watching it. I have consumed, I think, enough Aaron Rodgers content over the years to get the gist of him. And that's just not something I would like to watch. I remember the Brady Quinn wait. Actually, that's funny that that is coming up right now because Joe Thomas was talking about that on New Heights podcast because that was the same year that he got drafted, and a lot of people thought they were going to take Brady Quinn earlier. Then they didn't, but the Browns ended up trading back up to get Brady Quinn, which is much later than the original whatever it was earlier on in the draft. 2007 draft, to be specific. I was trying to look up what year that was. It's hard to place in my head. See, Aaron's not going to announce his retirement though, because he enjoys holding people hostage in these situations and getting media attention from it, even though he says he doesn't like media attention. Tight end. And for the Jets. All right. Let's see what San Fran's going to do here. Does our conversations about San Fran become a reality here? Who knows? Mm-mm. Oh, 49ers pick already here. Also, Magic beating the Celtics by 6 right now in the second quarter. Not Shador. It'd be nice if the Magic could steal a game from Boston just to bring those guys down a peg here. I'm glad people are getting their picks in quickly here. This is nice. Nice to see. We don't need to dwell and just sit around and wait. Got to get to the next one. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that Mason Taylor is the son of Jason Taylor. Um, Jason Taylor played for the Jets in 2010, so that's cool that all this time later, his son is drafted by a team that he played for. Very nice. Yeah, Jason Taylor actually was inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, one of the years I was interning there. So I have a very clear memory of that. It was probably 2017. I think it was 2017 when he was inducted. Yeah, I see a lot of people freaking out that they think the Browns are no longer bringing Chubb back. I cannot reiterate enough. I don't think this has anything to do with that. I interned at the Pro Football Hall of Fame for 2 summers back in college. Would have been like 2017 and 2018. It was a good time. I kind of like when it's all the different people announcing the picks rather than just Roger in the first round. It's nice that they do that for the first round, but then I like that they mix it up. Ah, he has a sick name. I feel like I just always have liked his name as a Rockwoo. I did meet Hall of Famers while I was working there because I worked in the special events department. So we would put on camps sometimes with like youth camps that a Hall of Famer would kind of come and host, or there were different like events where Hall of Famers would come and just like sign things too that we had to work. So I would get to talk to some of them sometimes. Sometimes I would get to talk to some of like the like really old ones. And that was actually hard because you could really see the toll that football took on their bodies mentally and physically. Like they just were not in good shape. And it was hard to see because you're just like, yeah, especially for some of those older guys, like we didn't even have the like knowledge or science behind things back when they were playing the game. So, I mean, they really just took a beating throughout their career. So that was always kind of a wild thing to see. Um, but I remember specifically, I interacted a lot actually with Orlando Pace, who was working a camp with like a youth camp. He was like the Hall of Famer. And that was cool because he was obviously an ex Buckeye. So we talked a lot of Ohio State, which was fun. And he was very nice. His kids were nice. It was a cool internship. Oh, I did. not a Hall of Famer, but Des Bryant, I did have to drive him in a golf cart at one point because he was late to the Hall of Fame game. So that was funny. He wasn't playing, so it wasn't a big deal. Just needed to get there. Mm. Ah, Buckeye. JTT. Yeah, it's a big weekend for the Buckeyes. Is that 7 now? 7 Buckeyes? That dude's awesome too. I did not tell Des that it wasn't a catch. I didn't talk to him much. I tried to not bother guys too much, when they're in their work zone. JTT. I remember that when he jumped up and caught that ball. That was sick. Rams. Let's do a little Celtics Magic check-in here. Magic up by 4. 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. The Magic are a frisky team to play. I also hate draft commercials, especially when it says the pick is in. I'm like, why do we need to go to commercial? The pick is in. Just tell us what the pick is. But advertising wins over. If I could steal any non-QB from a rival, who would you take? From a rival, so it's got to probably be like an AFC North team. It's a good question. I was about to say a quarterback, and then I'm like, nope, you said non-QB. Because it would be a quarterback if we could steal a player from a rival. God, that's hard. It's going to be someone from the Ravens. I really love Kyle Hamilton. I'm not sure that's my pick because I feel like I'm missing players that I'm thinking of, but I really love Kyle Hamilton. See, it's hard because there's other talented players, but they're like maybe on their decline, like kind of towards the end of their career. And so I'm a little bit like, am I getting this player for 1 year? Do I have to sign them to an extension? Like, I'm really overthinking. Oh, Jamar Chase. That's a great pick. Yeah, that would go ahead of Kyle Hamilton for sure. Oh, Boston's up by 6 now. What happened? Jeez, that's crazy. See, Derrick Henry, I considered, but I don't know. I'm like, how many good years does he have left in him? I was considering all of those types of things too. Yeah, but now that you say Jamar Chase, I'm like, I think that would be my pick. Jamar Chase up there, Kyle Hamilton up there. I don't want to take anyone from the Steelers because I just like hate them. So I'm like, even if they're good, I'm like, no, not interested. You think I want TJ Watt on my football team? Absolutely not. Is he talented? Yes. Do I want him? No. Aw, son's birthday. Cute. Great moment for a shout out. Another tight end off the board. Mm, I remember playing that guy. Wow. Also a big dude, almost 6'6". Yep. I was like, I remember a Ferguson when we were playing Oregon, and he did have a lot of production against us. Yeah, see, Marlon's another one where I'm like, he was good last year, but he might be on the decline here in his career, and I don't need the chaotic tweeting that man provides. I think we're good on that. But talented player, just good on the baggage. TJ Watt's the worst pass rusher of all time, actually. Exactly. Why would we want him in Cleveland? Not my defensive player of the year. I'll never forget how he like cried like a baby when Miles won. He was being such a loser about that. Like, you care that much about this award that you're going to put down the fact that Miles is winning. Like, Miles never did that to him before. But now you could tell, like, after that happened, Miles was like, I don't have time for this guy. I'm over him. And as he should. It was disrespectful. Okay. Vegas. Look, like, I know they have Gino, but they have been thrown around as a potential Shador team. So I don't know. There have been like a lot of stoppage in this Boston Magic game here? I feel like it's moving slowly. Or is just no one scoring? Oh, Boston went on a 10-0 run. Ugh. That's got to be brutal. Yes, Guardians doubleheader tomorrow. I hadn't even really looked out the window much, so I didn't realize that it was even a potential that it was going to get rained out until I saw it, and I was like, oh, Guardians are not playing tonight. I feel bad always when I see fans walk like that were clearly going to the game, walking around downtown who are already down here. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Because lucky for me, I just can walk to it, but I know people drive down here and park and whatnot, so it's got to be annoying if you like already paid to park and then the game gets canceled. Oh no. That's so funny. Ah! Judkins wasn't in the room when the Browns called him. And so I think that's his mom picked up the phone and it's just Andrew Barry like, "Hey, don't think that's Judkins." That's hilarious, actually. Maybe he really didn't think that the Browns were gonna be taking him. Was not prepared. That's so funny. I'm so happy for Mobley too. That was so great to see. I'm glad he was with the team when they were all watching it on the TV together and getting to hear his name called, and they were all hyping him up when he was doing like some media hits, I think on ESPN or something. Just Darius and Tristan in the back, like, that's our guy. Very happy for him. Every time they shoot to the fans of that team cheering immediately, like losing their mind when the player's name is announced, I'm like, how many of those people even know who that player is? Or are they just cheering because they're like on camera and they have to show they're excited? That's, some fun tape to have in your back pocket is good tape against Abdul Carter for this guy that they were showing of him. All right, who are the Bengals taking? We're going to see some AFC North action here. Would Seattle have any interest in Shador? I know they have Darnold under contract now, but just trying to think of teams that could. I'm sorry, those Bengals fans are cracking me up. Uh, they were like, okay, yeah, yeah. Then got themselves excited. They had no idea who that man is. Surprised they went linebacker there as well. They needed to go defense, I think, because that defense last year lost them so many games. That's the reason they weren't a playoff team. So definitely got to be going defense, but linebacker is an interesting choice. His stat that they have 22 reps on bench press in the 2025 combine, third for linebackers. I'm like, is that the stat that we really care about, though? Like, that's great. What's he going to do on the field? I don't know. I'm not someone who ever gets really caught up in the combine metrics. I have a hard time getting too excited over that. Okay, I'm going to watch the Seahawks and then I'm going to log off. We'll go through pick 50 and then I have some things I need to do. Browns videos I need to create, not for my channel, just some responsibilities I have here. So yes, the Browns offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, has a already pre-existing relationship with Jalen Milroe. Almost called him Jason Milroe. Jalen Milroe. So I have been feeling for some time that could be a connection that matters. And who knows? Maybe that's made the Browns more interested in him. Wow, I forgot Judkins had 3 touchdowns in the national championship. That was sick. Lots of birthdays. The kid's like, okay. A tight end. All right, let me take a quick look at the draft order before I log off to see if there's any spot that maybe makes any sense coming up. Intertons, Bucks, Broncos, Chargers. No. Yeah, I don't think, unless someone trades up, I don't see anyone, I think, in the rest of this round that's going to be taking a quarterback. But who knows? Who knows? All right. Thanks, guys, for hanging. And I'm glad we got at least one offensive weapon today. Still a little confused on the linebacker pick, but guess we can't have them all. But we'll take the Judkins pick. All right, everyone, have a great weekend. Go Browns, go Cavs. I might go live for the Cavs game tomorrow if I am around for it. So keep an eye out for that as well, for game 3 here. But hopefully we get the win either way. Thanks for joining.